Hey Trader Shane from GMT Futures and FX. Welcome back. I'm going to take you through our #1 ranked soybean strategy, and we're going to have a look at the system running, and we're also going to have a look at our top 10 systems on soybeans as well, because we want to have a look at how the portfolio is performing as a cluster or a group or a multi-system. But more importantly, I guess initially we want to have a look at this multi-system and the individual performance of our #1 strategy. So that would be at the moment FT09 soybeans, and it's the modified strategy we have from Richard. So let's have a look at our performance on this strategy. So this thing's running really well over the last 6 months. Average trade net profit still high there at 147.10. The win rate's around about 50%. You can see that the profit factor is 2.10, and max drawdown on this strategy is 28.50, so not bad at all. The max drawdown, trade drawdown is 625, and if you have a look here, our average losing trade is 271, our average winning trade of 557, so a good reward to risk there. Largest winner is 1775, largest loser 625, as I mentioned before. So this strategy has been running really well. The longs and shorts are evenly matched, which is great. That's what we want. We want strategies that have good distribution of longs and shorts as far as profit. So if we go into the system here, it's running on our intraday swing trader. Now, this system is ranked #1 in our multi-system strategy on soybeans. So ranking #1, and what you'll see here in our spreadsheet, we've got our system status, which is on at the moment, ranking #1. The overall performance over the last 25 weeks, so 20k, so it's averaging just under $1,000 a week, and so the max drawdown on that is 28.50. The last 2 weeks have produced $725, but it's been tracking really well. All up for June, it's netted out around about $1,900, so a pretty good, pretty solid month again. But the key thing here is it's trading well during this short, because there's a directional short bias at the moment. It's got medium volatility and low range. It's tracking well, and remember that there some of the things that we're looking at as our traders are looking at, obviously identifying what the direction is for their system, the volatility and the ATR. So if we look at those elements, we know that at the moment for soybeans, so if we look at soybeans, we've got the direction is currently short on our daily chart. Our volatility is high and our ATR is low. So even though we've got high volatility, our average true range is low. So the systems that are running best during this period are the ones there. You've got system FT09 is performing very well. Strategies, the cycle trader CT44, it's running very well as well. 1763 over the last 2 weeks. Then you've got Fib 32 shorts. There's no surprise that our short strategy is doing well, because we've got a short bias at the moment, and you can see here that during this short bias, which we've had, I guess, since around about the 5th of May, that short strategy, so Fib 32, has been tracking nicely. So if we have a look at the overall profit during that period, so from around about the 5th of May, had a directional short bias, that's made $4,524. So that system for that direction is running beautifully. So Momentum 88 doing very well there. Again, not really impacted by that directional bias. However, the SN322, SN323 soybean 5-minute longs only until the moving average breaks. Well, that basically is off now. So it broke the moving average on the 6th of June, and that strategy is now off. And you can see the lead up to that selling, that the system started to struggle a little bit. You can see here that the 3 weeks leading up to that moving average cross, where you'll get generally some selling action, that system was down $500. So basically, crossing the moving average was the catalyst for turning it off, and we've done that, and now we have definitely a short bias. And these are the systems on soybeans that are ranking well. They're available in Dropbox, so if you go into our Dropbox folder, there's our soybeans portfolio. That's the review for the 3rd of July. We have all of our systems updated, and also you'll notice that we've got our soybean system performance grid, which I'm taking you through here. That's the grid. and I've also put in the mandate calculator as well. So what the mandate calculator is, so this is actually the grid that tells you what's happening with soybeans, what's ranked 1 through to 10 as far as performance, what's happened over the last 2 weeks. Okay, traders, before we go into the mandate calculator, I'm just going to quickly take you to the daily chart, because it's always good to get a view or a picture of where we're at with soybeans. We know that statistically and historically, soybeans is in a selling period at the moment. If you have a look at seasonalcharts.com, you'll see that www.seasonalcharts.com, that soybeans around about July, early July, is in a strong selling period. So that's what we're in at the moment. You can see the sell-off. We've crossed the moving average, as I said before. We've got our volatility standard deviation stochastic set up here. We've gone from a high volatility to a medium volatility, and we've gone from from just poking up to the medium back into that low range. But that's okay, because we know that our systems run well on this during this period, and the ones that we specifically are focusing in on, and we'll just grab that up now, is we know that FT09 is tracking really well. It performs well both longs and shorts, so we know we're going to make some good money there. The other strategy that tracks really well is the Fib 32 shorts. Now, that's on soybeans, obviously. That's the market we're looking at the moment. Now, the last 3 weeks on that strategy, and we'll just grab it here, the last 3 weeks have produced around about $1,500. Now, I would say that we're going to get some pretty good movement there. So, and if we have a look at some live market action now, you can see these two systems running live on my screen here. You've got FT09, which we'll bring up here, RJ, which is running very well. That's picked up a nice 500 there so far. We've got no risk in the trade. And then we've got Fib 32 shorts. So we've got two strategies here. One's a specific short strategy, and the other one is longs and shorts, and they're tracking nicely. So so both of those systems running really well overnight, and we'll just see how they pan out for the rest of the day. But that's what I was talking about. And that's just obviously going to be adding some good profit for this week to our strategies. So that was a quick look at those two systems. Now remember that our top ranked strategies, because remember we're ranking our strategies here, our top ranked ones are FT09 RJ, FT09 GJ, which is Gary's strategy, and Fib 31 Longs is off. So that kind of is going to drop down a little bit now. I'd expect that the cycle trader strategy and Fib 32 will probably supersede that this week. Maybe not Fib 32, because it's got 11,000 of profit in there. It's going to take a couple of weeks for that to build up. But I would say that our Fib 31 longs on soybeans, which is off, will probably be superseded at least by the cycle trader strategy on soybeans. So that's a quick look at obviously the system performance grid and making sure that we're aware of what's happening with the market dynamics. Now we'll go into our mandate calculator. Before I do it, the interesting thing about this portfolio is that it has not had a losing week with all of these systems that we've tested, and some are being live traded at the moment and some are just new, but most of them are fairly much being live traded at the moment. There's a couple of new ones, like CT44 is fairly new, but the other ones are now being live traded. This combination of strategies hasn't produced a losing week. So it's important to, obviously, when you're putting your multi-system strategy together, to get that balance, where you're really very rarely having a losing week. And let's see, if we have all of these strategies on, now over that 25-week period, that would have produced 110,000 US dollars. Now, had we have traded this in a multi-system strat, let's have a look at what the potential drawdown would have been on this, the potential risk on this strategy. So we'll go to our mandate calculator. Okay, here's my mandate calculator. I've got all the systems loaded up. I want to have a look at exactly what my overall risk is. So when I have every single system on and tracking, so all the systems are producing daily P&L, my max drawdown with those 10 systems is 1987. That is fantastic. So when you're looking at putting your strategies together, the other great thing is the average trade net profit is a massive $718. So we have a really, really good average trade net profit. We've got a very low drawdown, and the overall net profit based on that data there is around about 97,000. So it's just that's a really good for 10 strategies under 2K, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want, and they're running very nicely. Some of them are off at the moment, obviously, or one of them, Fib 31's off, and one of the long strategies off as well, but just tracking nicely, and that's a bit of a look and an update of our multi-system strat on soybeans. Thanks for joining us today, traders. If you'd like to become part of our team in 2014, all you need to do is contact either myself or Luke at info@gmtfutures.com, and we can get you started pretty much straight away. So if you've always wanted to become a professional trader and you want to start using a high performance automated system, then definitely send us an email, info@gmtfutures.com or shane@gmtfutures.com, or you can either give us a call at 617-336-00875 and we can get you started straight away. So any questions, feel free to send them through. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I look forward to catching you on the next update. Cheers.